Hello, everyone. This is Phil again with another Capes and Lunatics Creator Corner. This time I am here with artist Kevin P. West. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
And I know I've talked to like comic book creators before, and well, last couple ones have been cosplayers, but get rid of this. All right. But your career is kind of different. You've actually worked on like trading cards. Like what kind of what you worked on Star Wars, correct?
Yeah, I worked on Star Wars and Walking Dead for Tops,
Huh.
and worked on a few other sets for other companies, but those are the two big ones. I've worked on sets for a company in the UK called Unstoppable Cards, and I'm actually currently working on a set of Mystery Science Theater 3000 cards, which is a lot of fun.
For the new series.
Yep, they're doing. They're going to actually come out with 3 series of cards.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Richard Parks Cards. It's an independent card company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know I've I've talked to a toy designer before. Like when you do like Star Wars or Walking Dead, do they give you like any like inside info, like, oh, this is what's coming up, but you can't say anything? Or
no way, Lucas and Disney. Nuh-uh. Any images you can find, like for the new movie coming out, Last Jedi, you have to go with what has been officially released.
Okay.
And like we did for Force Awakens, a lot of people used the trailers, but if you remember the trailers, some of the scenes weren't in the movies. So like one of the big scenes in the trailer was when Jin was out towards the end and the TIE fighter came up. That wasn't in the movie. And a lot of people drew that scene, and so those cards were destroyed. So this time they told a lot of people try not to use many scenes from the trailers. So
so they don't send you like actual like photos and stuff and say, okay, here it is.
Nope. they're that secret about it. They don't want anything out.
So,
yeah.
I thought if you made any like kind of merchandise or anything like that for the movies and stuff, they send you.
No, nothing. But our cards have to be approved by Topps, and then by Lucasfilm, and then by Disney too. So.
But how does that process go? Like, do you draw? I guess you draw it full size, and then there's like a process to shrink it down.
No, these are actual 3.5 by 2.5 or 2-inch cards. You have to draw that size. And then like they'll say I do 30 cards. They'll give me like 5 or 6, depending on if you do all color, that I get to keep. So I actually draw 36 cards. So I get to keep 5 or 6, whatever, depending on the size of the sets. And then the other 30 I send back to Topps, and they actually insert those into random packs of cards. So anybody out there that opens a pack of cards has a chance at getting an official one-of-a-kind piece of art. But then they usually flip it on eBay a lot of times.
So is that like more difficult having to draw that small and get like?
It was when I first started, for sure. So now if I draw on a full-size piece of paper, it feels like I'm drawing on a wall because there's so much space to fill up. But yeah, it was interesting to learn how to do that. And I got into it by a suggestion from a guy who was an artist friend who was doing them already, and saw that it was a couple of years ago when I got in, and I was doing it wasn't Inktober, it was called Monstober, where we were drawing a monster for every day of the month of October. So I just started like inking, and I had a few Copic markers. So I just started coloring because I was mainly a pencil portrait artist. And he saw that I was starting to do that stuff. He's like, hey, you should try doing sketch cards. So he told me to do like 6 to 8 samples and start sending them out to companies, So I did it, and he said, don't expect anything for like 6 months to hear from anybody. And Tops got to me within like a week, a couple days actually. It's like, you want to draw Star Wars? I'm like, yeah, please. So, yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Star Wars at the drive-ins when I was like 5 years old in 1977. So I was hooked on Star Wars ever since. So when I got to do Star Wars, it was like, yeah, please.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, you know, people could be like trading like your artwork and be like, "Hey, do you have this one and this one?"
Yeah, and a lot of us sketch card artists actually trade like personal sketch cards with each other all the time when we have a chance and we're not busy. But yeah, it's I mean, we're collectors too, so.
All right, I got sidetracked. I usually start off with like I was going to ask you, when did you first get into art? When did you realize you had artistic talent?
5. I was 5 years old.
Seems like most people say that.
My mom always tells that story, and I remember it a little bit too. But I drew a picture of pebbles from Flintstones from a coloring book, and I brought it out and showed it to her, and she's like, "Did you trace that?" I'm like, "No." So she got another piece of paper and the book and sat me down at the table and watched me draw Bam Bam. And since then, she drilled it into me that I was going to go to college and be an artist for the rest of my life. I went to college for a little bit, but didn't have many art classes and got tired of that. Actually quit drawing for about 11 years when I was working.
Well, at least your mother was supportive your whole life about that. I mean,
yeah.
In classes,
she told me I was going to college, but she never put money away for me to go to college.
But I mean, classes don't do anything. I mean, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be like drawing stuff, and I took a class. I don't think I had the talent. I think you just have to be born with the talent.
It's a talent, but it's also a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, anybody can learn to do anything, really. I mean, people can always say, "Oh, I can't draw a stick figure," but yeah, you can. And that's where we usually start too, with shapes and stick figures, and you build upon it. And it's just a matter of I wanted to draw, and I drew like every day almost. So it's kind of, I mean, just like sports, you got to practice.
So
if you want to, you got to do it.
So what, talent, practice?
I mean, I guess it can be considered, some of it's a talent, but I really think that's something when you're younger, that's what you wanted to do. You saw that you had maybe the eye-hand coordination that you could draw something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like, I can kind of compare it to when you're drawing, if people have ever used like a Wacom tablet, where you have to look at the screen and draw on the tablet at the same time. It's just that kind of connecting the two and being able to do it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just like anything. Practice.
Well, that's another question I had is like, are you all like pencil and paper, or is like technology come into it a lot more?
I try to stay away from the technology. I mean, if anything, I will sometimes color on the computer, but since I found the Copic markers, and I just love them, the way they blend, because they're an alcohol-based marker, and they almost look like watercolor when you do them. So yeah, I try to stay away from the computer. I use it as a tool. Like, I love that the internet can get your work out there. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what has gotten me to where I am right now, is because of the internet. Being able to show your work to anyone, anywhere in the world. So I'm not a computer person. I mean, I know it. I have to learn it. It's just a matter of the want to, mm-hmm. and I don't want to.
So it's pause. So what you're saying is you can be a working artist and you don't need technology for the actual process. Process.
I'd rather have the tangible art right there in your hand that you can show somebody than have a printout. Or I mean, I respect the artists that do that too, but I still think they had to learn at one time how to draw on pencil and paper. I mean, you still need to learn the skills to do even working on a computer.
Well, I think it's just a personal preference, because I know even like reading a book or a comic book, I'd rather hold it in my hand than read it digitally.
Yep, and it's also a lot cheaper to do it digitally. I mean, you don't have to buy all those art supplies all the time.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of most of us are like art supply collectors. I try to stay as far away from like Michael's and Hobby Lobby as I can, because if I go in there, it's going to cost me $100. You buy so much stuff that you never use or need. So I've been sending a lot of my duplicate supplies and stuff that I don't need to other artists, like that I've found on Twitch that are just starting out. I just sent a bunch of stuff to a guy down in Florida that didn't have any pens or pencils or whatever. So,
see that's what the internet's good for. I mean, you need to start a big group of like artists and be like, hey, does anyone need this? Or hey, I'm looking for this. Does anybody looking to get rid of some of it? Or
speaking of the groups, when I first started sketch cards, I knew nothing about them. So Tops, they just send you the blank cards and a contract, and here you go.
Wow.
Start it up. So on Facebook, I started a Tops artist sketch cards group. And now there's like, gosh, I think it's over 350 people now.
Wow.
And I just went through eBay and started looking up names of artists that did Star Wars sketch cards and garbage pails and stuff like that, and just started reaching out to them on Facebook and started that group. It's a private group. It's just artists that actually work or have worked for Tots, and just started getting them on there and getting as much knowledge and advice I could from them. And now it's like one of the biggest supportive groups that we have.
So I didn't realize. I guess Tops and all them have like tons of properties that come through there.
Oh, Tops they were mainly sports originally, like baseball cards. But yeah, they've been adding on slowly. Like they added the Walking Dead set. But they're the garbage pails. I don't do those, but the garbage pails are huge. Those are, they're crazy fans.
That's been around forever.
Yeah, that's been around since the 80s.
But I guess they do all that now, because I think the people are there more for like the garbage pails or the Star Wars cards. I mean, I don't know if are baseball cards still as popular as they were.
They're still big, yeah. And they actually do sketch cards for that too. So yeah, the baseball cards are still really big, and football and wrestling. They do wrestling and the WWE. They do MMA stuff. I mean, if there's somebody out there that will pay for it, they're going to put it out there for them.
Oh yeah, that's anything. If the money's there, man, they'll produce.
Yeah, if the money's there, they'll put it out there.
So, are they going to come to you for, or unless they already have cards for episode 8?
Yeah, but I turned it down. I turned down the last Walking Dead, which is going to have and I didn't want to, but they're going to have all of them this time, the entire from season 1 on. You could draw any of them. And with the Walking Dead cards, though, those have to be approved by the actors themselves. Yeah. So any of the cards I did for that, the actors actually saw them and said, "Okay, that's cool." But the last, I'm waiting for series 2 of the new Star Wars movie to do after the stuff is out, because when we did Force Awakens, everybody was using the same images. So it's still cool because it's all different artists' versions, interpretations of that same image, but there's so little out there And with getting ready for the Grand Rapids Comic Con, I just didn't really have the time because I wanted to get some new stuff out. And then I'd already signed on to do the Mystery Science Theater cards too. So yeah, I just said no. But I have a couple of collectors who usually want the cards before I even put them out for sale. The artist proofs that I get back, they get first dibs on them, which is cool. So I don't have to worry about trying to sell them.
But I like that. I mean, I'd rather get like Star Wars cards or something, like Walking Dead cards, like artists actually drew. Because like, I think they put back in the day when I was a kid. I think they was it Return of the Jedi. There was one of them they put cards out for, and I swear they just took stills from the movie and like slapped them on there.
That's what the base sets are, pretty much. 100 card base sets. They're still the same. I mean, still the stills from the movie, and then you just keep putting out sets one after the other, as many as they can.
Yeah, I'd rather have the hand-drawn artwork.
That's what I.
So you're like, yeah, I help people.
And also, since Disney took over the Star Wars, they don't allow that. Most of the stuff they have, they want realistic art, so they don't allow the people who did the cool like caricatures and the cartoony stuff. Which, I mean, I like it, and I would think the collectors would like it too. So yeah, they're going for just the realism, and sketch cards is kind of it's not a sketch card anymore. They're like mini masterpieces, what we like to call them, or I mean, it's not a sketch card anymore. I mean, it takes good 2.5 hours to do one card. So,
I would just think that's so hard to draw that small and get it like so accurate, and
it's also fun though trying to figure it out too. I mean, you're trying to get the composition and all that, and try and fit it in there. And some of the guys, I don't know how they can do these little collages. I think they wear like magnifying glass goggles or something, because I would go cross-eyed trying to do some of that stuff.
I think they do have like big magnifying glasses. Like,
yeah, they do. I've
tableware.
Guys have actually shared links to where they got these little visors that they wear to magnify it. That's a lot of work to me.
I was gonna say, I just still find it hard to believe that they don't just like let you draw like on like an 8x11 or something and shrink it down.
Well, that's if you work on actual sets and they do base cards with it. Like Jason Crosby is an artist friend of mine. He's really good, and he does more like cartoonish stuff. And he did I think it was a 9 or 12 card base set for Mars Attacks. One of the Mars Attacks, it was on Kickstarter, and he did those I think they were 8x10 or 8.5x11. I'm not sure the dimensions to get it down to card size, but yeah, let me turn that off so I don't get any more Facebook updates. Yeah, he got to do the base sets, and I'm sure they pay him a good penny to do it too. But yeah, if you get asked to do base sets, you can do them and they'll reproduce them.
And I saw some like superhero art on your page. Are you a big like Marvel or DC Comics fan?
Huge Marvel. Yeah. I mean, I think the first comic I read was probably Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man was always my favorite. He's so relatable, and he has problems and everything. I think that's why I like the Marvel Universe, is the characters are more real, have problems like normal people. I think I stayed away from DC except for Batman. I like Batman, but I don't know. They're more godlike, and just I don't know. I never really got into DC, and I didn't like all the multiverses and crazy stuff. But still fun. I mean, it's comics. It's just supposed to be fun. Don't take them serious.
Would that be like a dream job to like draw Spider-Man? like the actual comic?
It would, but I've never really wanted to draw comics that much. I just love drawing, period. Like I said, I was mostly a portrait artist. I think it was my teachers back in school drilled it into me that I had to have reference. Always use reference. I mean, I remember using my imagination when I was a kid. Now it's more I need a picture or some kind of something to trigger to get me to draw some kind of. So yeah, but Marvel, always Marvel. Make mine Marvel.
Nice.
You've got Superman behind you, and let's see, Green Lantern. So I'm taking it you're more DC.
I'm a fan of both. I mean, I think
you got to be a fan of both.
Oh
Watch.
Yeah.
But the cinematic universe, Marvel's way ahead.
Oh yeah.
I just can't get into the DC movies. I mean, I've tried. I fell asleep 3 times, I think, watching Batman, Superman. That was a mess.
Like you. Yeah. I think they kind of learned some lessons from Wonder Woman.
I think they have too many people telling them what to do and changing it, and they need to learn to have fun with them.
Yeah.
I think they take themselves too serious. I think that's their main problem.
Yeah, there's too many executives involved. They need to let their creative people do handle more of the decisions.
Yeah.
What else was I going to ask you? Did I say did you do work for some children's books?
No, not yet. I would love to.
Okay.
I'm talking to a guy on Twitch about possibly doing some work with him when I get a chance. But yeah, that's something I want to do some illustrations. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for Grand Rapids Comic-Con, to get some new contacts and get my name out there and possibly get some illustration jobs or cover work or something, because I was actually disabled and got an injury in 2000. So I've had a few surgeries and gone through quite a bit, but I recently had 2 stimulators put in me. You know what those are? So like an electronic device. I've got one in my lower back and one in my neck now. And it's kind of like an epidural for women. I mean, it's got 2 leads that come off it that go into your spinal cord. And it's like it sends out electric pulses, which kind of tricks your brain to mask the pain. So yeah, this is actually why I'm doing my first Comic-Cons. I haven't been able to do them because I can't sit or stand for that long. My family's been pushing me for years to do one. So yeah, it's kind of a putting my foot in the water here for this time to try it out. Hopefully see if I can do it, and then go from there.
All right. Well, yeah, let's plug it. So what weekend was the con?
It's the 20th through 22nd. So next Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Come fast. Yeah. And I was in a one-day one last weekend in Kalamazoo. It was just kind of a trial and making sure I can get out there and be a little bit personable. I'm usually sitting in my corner of my house drawing with my head down.
And you'll do commissions and stuff?
Yeah, I'll have people sign up for commissions and stuff. I did a few cards last week, but I'm not going to bring all my markers and everything to convention. It's not really feasible. I mean, I know people do it, but I'm pretty slow. I'm really slow at drawing.
Hey, as long as it's good. I mean, it takes a little longer as long as it's,
Yep.
Quality takes time sometimes,
Yeah. But I'm not one of them like Jim Lee or something that's going to go out there and throw a Batman at you in a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
How they do that. Maybe just all the practice. Maybe comic books force them to
Oh yeah, they have to do it. They got to do a page a day or whatever. I mean, they've been doing it. That's what they want to do. That's what they've trained to do. I mean, it's what they get paid to do.
Yeah.
And they get paid a lot of money to do it, most of them.
But if people can't make it to the con, like you have an online store, right?
Mostly Facebook. I use Facebook. I have a web page, but I haven't updated it in years because I use my Facebook page. My art page is Freak Castle Designs, and that's on Facebook. That's where I put my art. It's only for art. So then I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Kevin P. West 23 for both of them. And I just put art on there mainly.
But yeah, and I'll put links up to all those and show notes like when this goes up as a podcast and stuff. But so what? So people just come on and they ask you, can I get a commission of such and such character? And you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. If I have the time to do it, I'll do it.
Cool.
I have no problem. I'm pretty reasonable and willing to work with people. I'm not out to make a ton of money, just enough to pay my art supplies and just trying to get my name out there right now. So yeah, just having fun.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. I think that's everything I had. Is there anything else you looked up?
Somebody just rang the doorbell. Probably the mailman. Sorry.
That's okay.
He was sleeping until then, but
but yeah, before we go, is there anything else you want to promote? Any more appearances or websites or any social media or?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. And if you have any work, send it Kevin's way.
Yeah, please. Especially now in October. I love Halloween, so.
Oh, yeah.
Big horror fan.
Yeah, I saw a lot of horror stuff. So yeah, if you have a horror project, send it to Kevin.
Oh yeah. Yes, please. All right.
All right, everyone. The great Kevin P. West. Thank you for talking to me today.
No problem.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Hopefully I'll see you at Comic-Con.
Yeah, if I get out that way, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Another great interview with a creator, this time Kevin P. West. Like you said, check out his Free Castle Designs. I know it's on Facebook. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else. At Kevin P. West 23 on Twitter. I'll have links to those in the show notes. And again, another great creator trying to make a living at what they love. And that's what Creator Corner is all about. And if you're a creator, like I've been talking to artists, I've been talking to comic book writers, I've been talking to cosplayers during the Southgate Media Group online marathon. I talked to my friend who is she basically just did her music, but musicians. If you're looking for a place to show off your talents, to promote your work, or your social media, or where to, if you have services you're looking to sell, email me nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And if you have any suggestions for Creator Corner or anything else on the Capes and Lunatics podcast, get a hold of us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Our voicemail is 614-382-2737. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Capes and Lunatics. Twitter, we are at Capes Lunatics. Yeah, so please check us out. And another great creative corner, Mr. Kevin P. West. Check him out at the con. Check him out online if you're looking for artwork. Hanging up in your man cave. All right. Once again, nightwingpdp@gmail.com and on Twitter at NightwingPvP. If you're a creator, I want to talk. Let's show the world what you can do. If you're a comic book creator, if you're an artist, a musician, a cosplayer, we just had 2 great cosplay interviews. If you're a creative person and I haven't thought and I haven't even realized, you know, get a hold of me. We do it all here at KT Lunatics. Until next time, thank you and good night.